My name is VanBradley, and I'm back with the stash to help you understand and get through the age transitions of Civilization 7. Since Civilization 7 launched, I've got no fewer than 1,000,000,000 questions about where did my army go? What happened? Why is my city a town? Where did all my great works go? VanBradley, help me! Well, don't worry, because here's what we're going to do today. We are going to take a look at this save file here, the last turn of the Antiquity Age. We are going to compare it to the exact same save file after we go through the transition in the Exploration Age. We're going to go over what is the same, what is going to carry over, what is going to change or depreciate or disappear, and finally, at the end of the video, once we know those two things, we can go over how to prepare for the age transitions. Now, look, the truth of the matter is this: I cannot make you like the age transitions. So if you don't like them, I can't help in that regard. I also can't make them less jarring. I can't personally change what's transitioning. What I can do, though, is help you understand them so you at least know what to expect and what the hell is going on. Let's start on the more reassuring front and go over all of the things that are going to stay the same from this save as we transition to the Exploration Age. The first and most important thing that will stay through the age transition are your settlement locations. So whether they are a town or a city, the location in which you've put each settlement is going to remain the same. Any army commanders we have will survive the Antiquity to Exploration change. Any army and fleet commanders you have will survive the Exploration to Modern Age change. So we have 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 on this save file. Where is it? 4 army commanders, so we would expect to see all 4 commanders in the next age. Any world wonders you have built will stay the same and will continue to give you their effect. So we have the Colosseum on this tile here. It is fully built. We would expect to see the Colosseum on the same tile, giving us the same effect in the next age. In the civics tree, any unlocked settlement limit should carry over with us. So if you have unlocked a settlement limit here in entertainment, for instance, that settlement limit will carry over into the next age. You're not going to start the next age being able to build fewer settlements than you were in the previous one. If you go to your civilization's unique civics tree, so in this case it is the Roman civics tree, but it'll be whatever civ you have and you are playing, you will have your unique civics here. Any of these policies here, like Latinitas here, any unique policies you get in your unique civics tree will stay. They are called traditions, and the reason why they're called traditions is they will stay throughout all the ages. So all of these little quills right here, those abilities, those policy cards in our unique civics tree are going to carry over with us to the next age. Any building marked as ageless or a unique building will be carrying over through the ages with us. So here we have a saw pit that is an ageless warehouse building. So if you build anything that says ageless, it will carry through the ages. That makes perfect sense. It's an ageless building. Any of our unique buildings here, the Temple of Jupiter, the Basilica, these are unique Roman buildings. They say ageless on them. They will be going through the next era with us. And by going through the next era, I mean continuing to give us the full effects. A lot of these other buildings will physically go to the next era, but we'll talk about them in a minute. But anything marked as ageless will be giving us their same effect in the next era as they are in this one. Now we can talk about all of the things that are going to change when we go through the age transition. The first thing we are going to notice is that all of our cities that are not our capital will revert back to towns. So Roma here is our capital. When we go through the age transition, we would expect to see Roma still continue to be a city, but Batavium over here, which is a city, we will expect to see it back as a town. Any of the buildings in your cities that are not ageless will depreciate in value in the next age. We have a library in Roma here giving us 6 science. You can see that library on this tile here paired up with the altar to create a quarter. It's giving us 6 science because of its adjacencies, but if we go into the Civilopedia and we search for the library, we will see that the library only gives us a base of 2 science. In the next age, all of your non-ageless buildings will depreciate and only give you the base amount of science. So it will only give us 2 science in the next age and not 6. So when we go through the age transition, we will expect to see the library and the altar make it through the transition. They will physically occupy the space. They will still be giving us something, but because they are older buildings from a previous age, they will revert back to just their base bonus and not any additional adjacency bonuses. Any walls you built will also depreciate in value, but not entirely. We've built a lot of ancient walls in all of these cities because we are playing on deity and we would like not to get killed. Any of these walls will give us half their defense value, half their fortification level in the next age. So you will still see all of your walls existing. They will still actually be doing quite a bit for you with regard to defenses early on, but they will only be giving you half of their wall strength, their fortification strength in the next age. The next thing you will notice is that all of your wars are going to end and your units are going to get shuffled around. If there was a big war happening here with Wasset, all of the wars would end, none of the wars will carry through, and so you need to make sure that your warring is kind of fully complete by the time the age ends, because the age is going to end it for you. I want to add here that our units occupy a weird middle ground. They neither transfer completely over or disappear completely. If our units, up to a certain amount, I don't know what that amount is exactly, but up to a certain amount, have a direct upgrade unlock at the beginning of the next age, they will continue through. And so unlike our commanders, which always continue through with all their promotions, if we have enough melee units that have a direct upgrade, we'll start with some upgraded melee units. Same with some ranged units if we have them kicking around. But any of our siege units that do not have a direct upgrade in the next age will disappear. If you assigned any specialists to tiles, and so we have all these rural improvements here, they are going to carry over. But if you assigned any specialists to the buildings in your tiles here, they will be disappearing on the age transition as well. Although, asterisks here, the developers have said they're looking into possibly keeping the specialists over the age transition. But for right now, as I'm making this video, any assigned specialists will be disappearing in the next age. Resources do all kinds of funky things. Some of them will be changing, some of them will be staying the same. New ones will be spawning. Some of them will stay the same, but give you different abilities. And so as we take a look at the age transition, just know that your resources are going to be all kinds of wonky stuff. So if you see some disappearing and some changing and some new ones appearing, that is completely intended. That is fine. Your game's not broken. But just know that this screen is going to look entirely different, and we'll lose a lot of this resource capacity. Some of it because those buildings are no longer helpful to us, some of it because all of these cities will become towns again, but this screen is going to look a lot more barren in the next stage. We'll have to start the hunt for resources all over again. Similarly, any trade routes that are acquiring resources will also be gone at the age transition, so any of these trade caravans, any of the resources we are getting from these trade routes, anything we are receiving gold-wise from these trade routes, etc., are being terminated in the age transition. Any technologies you did not unlock, gone. We will not be researching anything in this tree in the next age. Any of these plus icon global bonuses also gone. So this +1 gold on gold buildings, if you teched into this mastery and you are getting that +1 gold, you will not be getting that +1 gold on gold buildings from this tech tree in the next age. If it exists in the next age's tree, you can research it again, but you will not be getting it from this tree anymore. Similarly, any wonders you researched but did not build are gone. So if you have researched a wonder, it needs to be physically on the map for it to stay through the ages. So if we had researched the Colosseum but we had not built the Colosseum, we would no longer be able to build the Colosseum in the next age. If you would like to build a world wonder, you've got to do it before the age transitions. Even if you've unlocked it, that unlock will not be carrying over. Any of the policy card options you unlocked in the ordinary civic tree, so in the antiquity civic tree, any of these little feather icons that have their policy card abilities. If you go to your policy cards here, you'll be able to tell really easily. Any ones with this icon are traditions, the one from our unique tree, remember they are carrying over. Any ones without this little icon here, so survey, city guard, drama, and poetry, all gone in the next age. When we start the new age, we will only be able to select from our traditions, which are these ones right here. Any tile improvements that have come from a natural disaster, so if there's any floods, there's any volcanoes, and they've added a lot of yields to a tile, you can see 11 food here. Any yields added or subtracted from a natural disaster are reset in the next age. So if you're flooding, if your volcanoes erupting, squall lines, whatever it is, they will be reset back to the standard tile yield in the next stage. And finally, your town focuses are going to be reset. Once you have selected a town focus, that focus is there for the age. You can only choose between the focus, in this case fishing town, and the growing town option. When we come back to Pompeii in the next age, though, we should expect to see that we can select between any of the exploration age options, including fishing town again, but we could select something else, so these town focuses reset. We are now on turn 1 of the exploration age. I have taken this save file through the age transition. Now that we've covered what we expect to stay the same and what we expect to change, we can finally take a look at how to best prepare for the age transition. Let's just make sure everything worked as intended. If I come to Roma, we're still seeing the Colosseum. If I go into my buildings, we are seeing that the library still exists and is giving us 2 science. The library does still exist. It is giving us 2 science, so we were right about that. That's all good. Our units seem to be spread out. Our army commanders are here. So let's take a look at how to prepare for the age transition. The first thing I want to do before the age transition is make sure I've gone into the culture tree and I've actually unlocked all of the unique stuff I would like to unlock. If you're approaching an age transition and you come into your unique tree, in this case we're going from exploration to modern, you want to come in here and make sure you've unlocked all of these unique policies. They may be helpful for you because they will carry over. You also want to make sure if there's any settlement limit or unique buildings tucked in here that you have unlocked those. At the very least, you want to make sure they are carrying over with you into the next age. You can see here we are carrying over all of our unique policy cards, which is awesome. In the case of wonders and your unique buildings, you want to make sure you've actually placed them down. I'm back in the antiquity age just to show you, but I like to click through my cities and make sure that in the building section, I've at least built all of the kind of ageless unique buildings I'd like to, so that they're carrying over into the next age. Something like the saw pit though, if it's not unique to you, it's just a general ageless building. The ageless buildings you can build in any age as well. So you only need to make sure you're going through all of your cities and double checking that you've built any wonders, if you see any wonders down here, or any of your unique civ buildings from this selection. I'd like to make sure I've placed down all of my settlements. If you have any settlers roaming the map like this fella here for Xerxes, your settlers will not carry over, so just make sure that any settlers you have on the map are placed down and you've created a settlement with them if you would like to. If you're a little bored and you have nothing else going on, making sure you are building the amount of commanders you would like to carry through. I recommend at least 2 in the antiquity age. Here I have 4. That's a little bit excessive, but you can see that 1, 2, 3, and where's 4? 4 of our commanders made it through. They kind of got yeeted to random cities, which is a little annoying, but you'll also see some of them are filled with the units we had built. They got upgraded from those like other infantry units, the warriors or whatever, to swordsmen, which is super duper cool. So if you have any extra production, any extra time, you're looking at a city and you're like, what should I build here that would be helpful in the next age? Any army commanders will be awesome. And in this age, now that I'm in the exploration age, any fleet commanders as well. The relationship you built with leaders in the previous age does carry over a little bit, also rubber bands a little bit, but if you really want to be happy with someone in the next age, make sure you're going through and doing diplomacy things that'll make them happy. If you really want to be mad at someone in the next age, or if someone be mad at you because you want to go to war with them right away, doing a bunch of things that'll make them mad at you. The relationship will level out a little bit on the age transition, but making sure you've at least used your extra diplomacy on that if you'd like to is a good option to kind of maintain the relationship status you want in the next stage. When you see this age progress bar hovering around 90%, it's always worth coming into these legacy paths here and just double checking your progress. Each of these milestones will give you another point to spend in the age transition, so you might want to check in and be like, okay, you know, there's 10% of the age left. I only need 1 more codex to get to the next point. Is that something I can achieve? Is that something I want to achieve? I can't answer those questions for you, but it's worth just, you know, doing one final click through at around 90-95% just to see, hey, I'm really close to this milestone or this golden age or this. Is that something that I want? If so, can I achieve it before the age ends? If you're bored at the end of an age and you have some extra time, some extra science, some extra culture, you kind of research through most of the stuff, you don't have anything else you want to pick up, coming and grabbing a future tech or a future civic will give you a wildcard attribute point that's spendable in the leader attribute tree. The leader attribute tree just carries out throughout the game, so that's another way to do something in an age that will carry over to the next one. And finally, one of the most fun things I think you could do is actually prep your civ for the next age based on who you know you're going to take. This one takes a little more experience, so as you play through Civilization, you will start remembering some of the unlocks you have, what some of the civilizations do. But for instance, if I knew at the Antiquity age that I was going to play Inca in the next age, and we're going to be able to work mountain terrain and get extra food and extra production and get these amazing terrace farms near mountains, I might want to take my settlers and actually settle some cities near mountains to make sure I had those mountains for my next civ in the next age. And yeah, just in case you didn't believe me, this resource screen has absolutely just been blasted through. It's crazy how much the resources change between ages. In any case, there's not much else you can do to be prepared. Get those settlements down if you have settlers on the map. Make sure you build any wonders or any unique kind of buildings you've unlocked in your unique civic tree. Make sure you've built the commanders you want to carry over. They're still buildable in the new age, but they're one of the few things that does carry over. And just generally make sure you are mentally prepared for the age transition. Know what's going to change, know what's not. Maybe set yourself up for the next age with your new civ. More changes, then stays the same. And again, I can't make these less jarring. I can't make less stuff change, but I hope this video at least help you know what is going to change, what is not going to change, and a few little tips and tricks for you to at least be prepared both in the game and kind of mentally for the next age transition. In any case, I hope this video was helpful. Not much in the way of tips and tricks for this one, just a lot of information I wanted you to know about. If you had a good time with this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.